Prince George, Duke of Kent, was born on the 20th of December 1902 at York Cottage. His parents were George, Prince of Wales, later King George V of the United Kingdom, and Mary of Teck. He was born during the reign of his grandfather, King Edward VII of the United Kingdom. He was educated at home by a tutor before following his brother Henry's footsteps to attend St. Peter's Court in Kent. His grandfather died in 1910 and his father became King of the United Kingdom. When George was 13, he attended Naval College, first in Osborne and then in Dartmouth. He was promoted to sub-lieutenant in 1924 and lieutenant in 1926. He remained on active service until 1929. In 1929, George obtained his pilot's license and became the first member of the British royal family to cross the Atlantic Ocean by air. George became a Freemason in 1928. In 1939, he was elected Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England. After leaving active service, George then held posts at the Foreign Office and then the Home Office, working as a civil servant. George also went on engagements for his father. In 1931, George and his brother David went on a tour of South America. Despite having left the Navy, he continued to receive promotions to commander in 1934 and captain in 1937. In 1932, Prince George met Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark. They were second cousins and quickly fell in love. They got engaged in August 1934 and married on the 29th of November 1934 at Westminster Abbey. They had a Greek ceremony in the private chapel of Buckingham Palace afterwards. George was created Duke of Kent, Earl of St Andrews and Baron Downpatrick. Together they had 3 children, Edward born in 1935, Alexandra born in 1936 and Michael born in 1942. Throughout his marriage, there were rumours that George had affairs with several people, including Jessie Matthews, Cecil Roberts and Noel Coward. One relationship was confirmed, which was his relationship with Margaret Wigham, later Duchess of Argyll. George was rumoured to have had a son with Kiki Preston. In 1936, George's father died and his brother David became King Edward VIII of the United Kingdom. David appointed George his personal aide-de-camp. Following David's abdication at the end of 1936, George's brother Albert ascended the throne as King George VII. Albert appointed George as his personal naval aide-de-camp. In 1937, George was commissioned as a colonel in the British Army and later appointed as Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Fusiliers. In 1938, George was appointed Governor-General of Australia, but due to the outbreak of the Second World War, it was postponed. In 1939, months before the war, George gained the rank of Rear Admiral in the Royal Navy, Major General in the British Army and Air Vice Marshal in the Royal Air Force. When the war began, George returned to active naval service. On the 25th of August 1942, George and 14 others flew from Invergordon, Ross and Cromarty to Iceland. George and 13 others were killed when the aircraft crashed on Eccles Rock near Dunbeath in Scotland. His death marked the first time in over 450 years that a member of the British royal family died while on active service. He was buried in the Royal Burial Ground in Frogmore. His eldest son, Prince Edward, succeeded him as Duke of Kent. His youngest child, Prince Michael, had been born only 7 weeks before George's death.